Welcome in to the Ye Shall Live podcast, episode 5, Filling the Void, part 2. Come on in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And also, please go check out episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are up for you to check out, comment, like, share, and also on YouTube. I have these up on YouTube. We're live on YouTube as well as Facebook. YouTube is at Andre C. Harrison. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's get into it. Filling the Void, part 2. So tonight, I'm going to come in with some little bit of teaching. I'm going to put my pastor hat on, okay? And I want to talk a little bit about some things Dr. Miles Monroe was referencing about this void. Okay, where is this void even coming from? It's the long human search. From the beginning of history, the deep human search for purpose, meaning, and utopia are the driving forces of the human journey. So there's this journey that we're on to get back to utopia, which we know is Eden, right? This unnamed, misunderstood, and many times unidentified search for the human heart is found in every culture, every civilized people, every race, every group. It's unescapable. Every generation is seeking it. All humans are searching for the ideal. The search is the source of human progress, development, inventions, and philosophies. So, this search for the desire of an idyllic world is the source of the ideologies and the school of thought. So, this void is not just coming out of anywhere, right? There's this pool. It's the search for the idea. The long, deep search of the human spirit was never for a religion. Man is seeking a better world, meaning, and purpose. Man uses religion to try and get it. Okay. So there is the distinction, right? Because there are times where we try to insert religion into things, and people are talking about religion, but religion is just the structure of it. But what we're trying to do is the search for the just world, equality, and fairness. We're trying to get back to God, right? What makes us all one? Because it's the spirit. We are spiritual beings in the natural body, okay? And our spirit is longing for Him. And so, in that, we've created things. We've created things to try to supplement that. The spirit of man cannot search for what it never had. See, that's the thing. The search to fill this void had to come from somewhere. What is the pull? What is the tug? What is the driving factor for this? So the very nature of the search means sometimes you had something before and you lost it. So what did we lose? What did we lose? We lost God. We lost Eden when Adam and Eve decided to bite that apple, right? That chasm, that nature of that, what happened when sin was is interjected. Now there's a void that our spirit now has to long for. It wants to get back. It wants. But see, the problem is we don't understand that we are spiritual beings as we're trying to fill this void. Okay. And now we start filling with things around us. We're just looking to see what can I do? What can I do to fill this void? And my wife's on here, Angela Beloved, said, so true. It is true. Because what happens if you're not filling the void with God or Jesus or the Holy Spirit, what are you filling it with? Now, I'm not saying everything you fill with is bad. No, you're trying to get to a career. You may fill it with that. But see, you can't let that be your God. You can't idolize that as you're trying to fill this void. And so one of the things, as you know, as a suicide survivor, or if you are thinking about it, and this is I'm interjecting this, right? So when I was coming up, when I was coming out of that, now as the suicide survivor, I attempted it. It didn't go through. I'm trying to interject myself back into life, right? I went back to work. Go back and check the later ones. I'm just gonna talk about a little bit. So, but the void, I tried to fill it with work. I went back to work. I didn't quite fill it. I turned to smoking. That didn't fill it. So all these things are fleeting because the inherent nature of it, God is pulling on us, right? So that lets you know you have to fill that void with Him. The void is there because we're lacking Him. Okay. And so one of the things Dr. Miles Monroe was talking about, you know, we try to fill it with other things as well. We have governments, right? We have kings and queens. We're talking about things like that. And even with, if we think about, go back into the Bible, right? When the Israelites were looking around and everybody had a king and they didn't have one, that's how King Saul came, right? God filled him temporarily. Shout out to Prophet Antoine. He talked about this, right? And so they felt they had a void because they didn't have a king and everybody else did. So we're looking around and seeing what other people are the voids or what they're feeling. Oh, wait, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that. But you get stuck in this hamster wheel of things and you're going in circles, right? But you cannot fill that void without Him. It's just not possible. It's not. And so, how do we get to Him? So, here's the thing: after I'm back at work and stuff, I didn't immediately get to God. Like I said, I wasn't saved at the time, right? And so, but there was still this pull. Now, I talked about in episode 1 how something in me cried out to Him after the attempt, right? And I had known of Him through my grandmother and things like that. But by the time I was growing up and things, you know, there was no relationship. But I believe that cry was my journey to get back to Him. Okay. And so I'm thankful He heard the cry. So here's the thing: even if you're not saved, even if you're an unbeliever, we are all His children, right? We are all God's children, unbelievers and believers, whether you believe or not, whether you're dabbling in this and dabbling in that. But that pool will never go away. See, all those things, the false gods and the crystals and the horoscopes, those things aren't real. Those things are fleeting. It's tapping into something, but it's not Him, right? And so I could kind of feel, as I'm trying to fill the void with these things, the void is kind of getting bigger. I'm like, man, this is not working. Like, what do I need to do? And I'm trying to kind of brush it off. And what's happening is I'm going through the motions. My high school coach, shout out to Terry Hayes, he used to say it in basketball practice, you guys you're just going through the motions. He would stop practice. You're just going through the motions. You're just getting up, you're doing this, doing that. We're in practice. You know the plays, you're just doing this, you're setting the screen, but you're not putting any effort into it. And we find ourselves going through the motions of life, not really putting any true effort. We're just doing things, right? We're doing what we have to. But if we just take a moment to sit back and evaluate ourselves, right? Do some self-inventory, you'll get into that headspace where your trajectory will change. Okay. So all I'm saying is give God a try. Okay. Because that's what I eventually went that way, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in episode 6. But the the journey has to be intentional. Okay. Now, you may not know your purpose at the time. Some of us find it early, some of us are on that long journey, right? And some of us take the broad way, but we ought to be on the narrow path, right? And that's going to lead us to him. But that broad way is we're trying things, we're doing this, it's YOLO, you only live once. We're doing all these things, we're filling up space and time, right? That's, filling the void. We're just trying to fill up space and time. We're doing this, we're staying busy, but it's not fulfilling the soul, right? And get to the spirit of this. Okay. And so we got to be intentional. We have got to be intentional. And I remember I think I was I stumbled onto TBN, right? And this was a network that had all the preachers and things. I remember seeing TD Jakes and stuff. And I would kind of look at it, but I didn't stay there. I was, it didn't catch me yet, right? So I'm still filling a void with all these other things. And now at the job I at, I've started to get healthy, right? My wounds heal on my hand, my ankle, although I should have went to physical therapy. My ankle's getting better. I'm out the cast, and then I went to the boot. So now I can move around better. And so now I'm looking to fill the void on the job, right? Some things open up and I'm able to work more, right? Make more money, doing some other things, staying to help out around I was working at a car dealership. And so now I've tried to fill the void with that as well, right? I'm hanging out with the guys, right? I'm washing some cars. I'm like, this easy money, right? I'm doing a little detailing, doing some waxing stuff, right? Just staying busy, right? But that's because I was thinking I'm integrating myself back into life, but there was still the tug, right? And so I'm ignoring it because I'm just trying to feel it. So I'm thinking, what is this? I'm just feeling it. Doing this, feeling it, doing things, finding things to do, right? But now I'm playing video games, right? When I get home off of work, now I'm playing the games. Now I'm on the hamster wheel I was talking about. But it's not enough. It's not enough. And if you're really truthful with yourself, you know it's not enough. Right? If you allow the truth to come on you and be free, the truth will set you free. You'll understand that it's not enough. You were not just created to just do that. Right? Get up, eat breakfast, go to work, have some fun time, hang out with your friends, you got family, all this, do it all over again. Right? Breathe, eat, sleep, up, right? It's more to that. And that's what Dr. Miles Monroe was talking about, right? We're trying to get back. Now, we say, I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know about going to church. I don't know, but all I'm saying is try it. And I'll talk more in episode 6. I got there, but try it. I remember a coworker was he was inviting me to come to his church, and I was just kind of like, maybe, I don't know. I don't have the time, but I had the time, but I was just like, I don't know if that's really my thing. I don't know. That's what I really want to do. right? He ain't pressuring me or anything like that. So, in the same vein, I'm not trying to apply any pressure to you. I'm just saying if you can give him a chance, it'll unlock a lot of things for you, right? Um, it would unlock a prayer life, technology of the spirit that is helpful for you to navigate this world. Okay. So now that's just one example of how you can fill the void. Because prayer gets us closer to him. I remember growing up, I was praying those basic prayers, right? Now lay me down to sleep. Pray the Lord my soul to keep. And the Lord's Prayer, I knew that. But I didn't understand what I was doing. I wasn't saved, and there was no connection, there was no relationship. And so that was not going to help fill the void even then. Because when I look back of the deep root of where the depression came from, it started in those teenage years, right? And many of the people watching this may know me growing up and stuff. And what happened was different people was getting different parts of me. You know, if I was more comfortable with you, got the good side, the playful side, and there was a quiet side, and there was all these different sides, and trying to navigate what I know now was a depression that I was in, right? Trying to fill these void with things and not having an understanding, right? And so when I look back at those teenage years, you know, and many of you you may have teenagers or know some that have, right? Um, I say it is important to have some dialogue with them if they feel they have a void, right? And I think that the thing is we don't talk enough about that, about what's going on the inside of you. Because the enemy will be glad to fill that void. And that's what happens. Right? He'd be glad to come on in and say, yes, you know, I want to fill that void, but some things are going to deter you. Right? I don't want you to get back to God. I don't want you to get to God. He wants to grab hold of that pool that's pulling you, that inherent thing on your spirit. And he wants to grab hold of that and take you in a different direction. And so as I was feeling the void after that, I'm thinking like, I can't go back to that. Something has to change, right? And I know change is hard. Change bucks up against the system. We see very well when Jesus came on the scene and was talking in a synagogue and things and amongst the people, he was trying to change their mindset. And the Sadducees and the Pharisees, they did not appreciate that, right? Jesus wanted to change the trajectory of how they thought and their heart posture, right? And so the problem was with that, though, when he came, he didn't fill the void that they had the way that they thought he should. Even though that was a divine plan, he was going to end up on the cross. They didn't understand what he was doing. He was coming to fill the void, right? You had the Romans at the time, you had Caesars, all these things around them, but they wanted to use him as a genie and grant some wishes and things. They didn't understand he was coming so they can have salvation, so that they could be redeemed, so they can be saved, that they can get justified, all these things, right? They didn't understand that the Redeemer was living. Hey, Lambier, good night, good night. Hey, so we really are trying to get back to that. And that's all he's saying. That's all he wants is to say, try me. Try me. You can still have those other things. I'm not saying throw those things away, but those things are not the all encompassing, right? The job, the family, the relationships, the money. He's not saying he didn't want you to have things. He's saying, I'm trying to give you something alongside of those things. And if you fill the void with him, those things get enhanced, right? You find favor on the job. Like I said, even though I wasn't saved, his hand was on me. I found favor in the job. Found favor with people helping me. But because he still loved me. And he still loves you. He always loves you. No depth, no height. Nothing can separate us from the love. Nothing can separate us from the love. We separate ourselves. We put the chasm in the way by not doing the things we're supposed to do. And so, like I said, I have my pastor hat on tonight. I just want to encourage you, right? To lead you down a different path, the righteous path, right? So wherever you are, wherever you're listening to me right now, I encourage you just to try him, right? I'm a product of that. It's a long journey, 20-something years, right? But as I look back over my life, I'm grateful, right? And this journey is not a sprint, it's a marathon. This race, this life, you got to be in it for the long haul. Ye shall live, right? We're talking about as a suicide survivor, adding awareness and prevention. And prevention. Because we have to prevent this darkness to come inside of us. That is to be, we don't want that to be illuminated on us. We want the light of the world to be illuminated. We want him to grab hold to us, wrap his arms around us, and fill us, right? My wife talked about being filled and led and walking the Holy Spirit that Jesus left us, right? Because even in that, when Jesus was talking to the rich man and he told him, give up your stuff and come follow me, he didn't want to do it. He felt like he was missing out. He didn't understand who was talking to him that could give him all that more. But we see Job, right? Satan went to the courts and said, you got all this, you got a hedge of protection around him. If you take all that away from Job, he won't love you. He won't follow you. So if you had nothing, right? Would you still be encouraged to follow him? The disciples gave up their lives to go follow him. They were fishermen and all these things, right? They had jobs and families, right? And even going back to Job, he didn't even do anything wrong. But he was tested and he passed. And see, here's the thing. God knows the plans. He already knew what Job was going to do. And in that, with Job, and I invite you to go read that, he saved his friends by praying for them. So it wasn't about the stuff. It's not about the stuff for us. The stuff is good, and he gave him double. When he came up out of that, when Satan attacked his body and he had boils and couldn't move and things, and he came up and God restored him, he had double. When his wife was saying, "Oh, curse God and die," told him to die. But I'm telling you to live. I'm telling you to live. Ye shall live. I'm telling you to live. We don't have to suffer in silence. We don't have to suffer inbox me. And I'll pray for you. Comment. Go back and watch the other ones, episode 1, 2, 3, 4. And share. Because I believe God is going to do or work with this. This was something I was once ashamed to talk about. I thought I was going to bury it. Right? And just go on about my life. But the pull from it just wouldn't let me. And here I'm in. A living epistle, a walking testimony for you to see. You don't have to go that route. You don't have to go that route. I promise you, he has something for you. I promise you, your life can get better. I promise you. But are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to take it one day at a time? That's all we get. I say it all the time, one day at a time. What can we do for this day, the present? Present is a present. It's a gift. Life is a gift. Do you understand that? Life is a gift. There's so many people that are not here anymore, not by their own fruition. Whether it was a car accident or illness, or somebody took their life. Don't take yours. Live. 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 Yes, live. Please, I beg you. Listen. As we're going forth, if you want to comment on these things, well, I'm going to go back and look at things. I don't want this to be one-sided. Right? I don't just want, let's get some dialogue. Let's really get to the deep core of these things, right? Because God has a plan for you. God has a purpose for you. And you'll find as you try him, that void, you'll feel it shrinking. You feel the joy coming back in your life, right? And all those things. But it is a process. But I believe in you. I believe in you because people believed in me. There's so many people that helped me get to this place. And this is why I'm giving back. I can't wait to give back more in the ministry and things. A lot of things coming on the horizon. God is moving, right? Even on the prophetic side, when he has me put on the prophet hat, like so many things that have helped me get here. God will put people in your life. God just wants you to turn your gaze towards him. Okay? I love you guys so much. Listen, Lord willing, every Wednesday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, the Ye Shall Live podcast. Come join me. Let's talk. Let's talk. And even if right now you're just sitting back, you just want to watch, that's okay. But I'm going to keep encouraging you. The inbox is open. Right? I'm open, I'm available. I'm not just doing this just to do this, to be seen or to be heard. I'm doing this to instill in the people that the life is precious. It's so very precious. So very precious. So please join me. We're willing, like I said, next week. Ye Shall Live podcast episode 6, Lost, Found, and Lost. Lost, Found, and Lost. We're willing next week. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Please, if you can, just let somebody know on YouTube, like, subscribe, share. Facebook, like, and follow me. I love you guys so much. And remember, ye shall live.